Today, we're diving deep into a concept called motogera, or war mode. You can think of it as a kind of philosophy, a manual really, designed as an answer to that feeling of exhaustion and, well, purposelessness that a lot of men seem to be feeling these days. So, let's get right into it.
So, does this question hit a little close to home? You know that feeling? Constantly tired, maybe a little unmotivated, kind of just adrift in the modern world? If any of that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone.
And that right there is the first huge idea. This feeling, it's not some personal failure. The whole idea is that it's a widespread condition, a symptom of the times we're living in. So what exactly is causing this modern malaise? Well, first, we've got to diagnose the problem. And the source material for this really looks at a mix of physical and environmental factors that are pretty unique to our time. What's really interesting here is the core argument. Our modern environment is pretty much actively working against our biology. There's a documented drop in men's testosterone levels, and the claim is it's directly linked to our lifestyle. Things like not getting enough sun, sitting around all day, eating way too much sugar, not sleeping well, and even being exposed to things like microplastics. So here's a crucial point. It's all about reframing that little voice in your head. The argument is you're not inherently lazy. That feeling is just a natural reaction to a lifestyle that drains your energy and a world that, frankly, doesn't give you a clear map. But, it goes deeper than just the physical stuff. The thinking is that this depleted physical state makes men way more vulnerable to this societal trap, one that's almost engineered to keep them stuck in this cycle of exhaustion. And this just lays out the central conflict perfectly. On one hand, guys are kind of programmed by society to make female validation their main goal in life. But on the other hand, the source claims women are increasingly programmed to see men as the problem. You can see how that sets up a really, really difficult dynamic. And that is the punchline. It's presented as a system, a circuit, that isn't just broken by accident, it's designed for you to fail. This constant chase for a goal that's not even fully in your control, it just leads straight to burnout. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Pouring all your energy into chasing external validation, something that doesn't depend only on your own effort, is pretty much the fastest way to completely drain your battery. So, if that's the trap, how do you get out? Okay, so this brings us to the solution. A total change in mission, a whole new operating system called motogera, war mode. So what is war mode? It's basically a radical shift in your main objective. You stop making finding a partner the goal. Instead, the mission becomes building yourself, your career, your physical strength, and your own internal sense of purpose. And here's the core principle. You don't find motivation, you create it. The idea is that motivation is just the natural result of having a clear, self-defined direction. Once you figure out your path, the energy to actually walk it, well, that follows. So what does this actually look like in practice? The source lays out a really clear, actionable roadmap for putting this whole philosophy to work. So the path is broken down into 5 key pillars. First, work. Focus on your career, on providing value. Second, train. Build your body. Third, study. Educate yourself. Never stop learning. Fourth, build. Learn to be useful, to make things with your hands. And finally, and this is stressed as being critical, form a tribe. Find other men who are on the same journey. Yeah, this part is presented as absolutely essential. Having a brotherhood gives you perspective, support, and it holds you accountable. The argument is that modern isolation makes men really vulnerable, and a strong community is the best defense against that. But of course, this brings up a really common fear, right? With all these options, start a business, learn a trade, go back to school, what if you choose the wrong thing? That paralysis by analysis can stop you cold before you even start. I love this gym metaphor they use to just dismantle that fear. It's so true. If you spend 2 hours debating whether to train chest or back, you end up doing nothing. The most important thing isn't making the perfect choice. It's just making a choice and getting started. Action creates clarity. All right, and this leads us to the final and maybe the most surprising part of this whole philosophy. What's the actual reward for all this internal work? It's the natural question, right? If you stop making relationships your primary goal, does that mean you're just signing up to be alone forever? And here it is, the great paradox. The claim is that by focusing on your own mission, on building your own value, authentic connection stops being something you have to chase. Instead, it becomes a natural byproduct. It finds you when you're busy building a life that's worth sharing.
Ultimately, the entire philosophy boils down to this final, powerful call to action. Stop reacting to the world. Stop being a victim of your circumstances. Instead, be deliberate. Choose your purpose. Choose your direction. Choose your battle.